Good morning. My name is Darnell Weathersby, president of Lead One. And I just want to send a word of encouragement and wisdom to parents this morning. For many of you, for many of us, we're all attempting to do what's best for our kids. We're all attempting to provide a world that's safe, provide an environment where they can grow and thrive. But we also know we're living in a sinful world, a fallen world, a world that isn't always safe and isn't always welcoming to our children. And as adults, we carry that burden. As adults, we carry that stress of how do we navigate the balance between informing our children and yet helping them keep some of their innocence, keep some of that purity, keep some of that optimism that they're going to desperately need as adults. And I struggle with that. I don't know about you, but I struggle with how do I make sure my children see the world through clear lenses? How do they see the world from a Christian perspective? Understanding that God is able to work and God is able to move despite the brokenness of our world. But at the same time, I do not want them to be oblivious to the traps of the enemy when it comes to racism, sexism, classism, all the different isms that sin has created. My children need to be cognizant and aware of those things, but I do not want their hearts to be burdened and they live in despair because of the reality of those things. So if you're like me this morning, you're struggling with some of the conversations that you know you need to have with your children, but at the same time, you're praying for the right place, for the right time, for the right moment, so that the Spirit of God can move and the Spirit of God can guide you and lead you so that you can protect their hearts. So I just want to encourage parents, continue to be prayerful during this season. Continue to allow God to speak to you and guide you. Just don't rush into having conversations haphazardly, because we have to protect our children. We have to protect their minds, their hearts, their emotions. So I'm with you this morning. I'm in the struggle with you. I understand the dynamics with you. And we're going to make it through this together, one crisis at a time. God can lead, God will provide. So whether you're discussing violence on TV, violence in the news, violence in your community, violence in the neighborhood, pick the crisis. There's so many to go around right now. There's not a matter of if there's something to talk about, but what are we choosing, once again, to expose our children to? What are we choosing to expose their hearts to, their minds to? Because we're called to protect them. We're called to cover them. We're called to watch over them. We're called to be good stewards of the gifts that God has given us, and our children are a gift. They don't belong to us. They are a gift to us for a season, and we're called to raise them up, to lead them, to pour into them, and then release them into the world to be God's image bearers, to be God's representation here on the earth. So parents, I know that the responsibilities seem overwhelming, but let God lead you and be led by Him. Let Him comfort you, and then you can comfort your children. Let Him strengthen you, and then He can strengthen your children. So make sure you're getting fed, mom and dad, and then let's make sure our children adequately get what they need. So for more inspirational videos, continue to follow us at Lead One LLC. Continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Lead One Movement. Check out our website for upcoming events. Subscribe to our newsletter. Our website is theleadonemovement.com. So God is moving in powerful ways. But I just want to encourage parents today to know that God sees and God cares. God bless.